name's Elizabeth Daniels. I have a psychotherapy practice in Federal Way, Washington. Today's topic is a social phenomenon called foot in the door. This is the tendency for a person who first agrees to a small request to then later comply with a larger request. So let's say that you want someone to believe something or to take some particular action that you know if you were to ask them right now today to do it, they would give you absolutely no way, I will not do that or believe that. So what you do instead is you ask, make this small request of them, one that you know that they will comply with or agree to, and then they do that. And then once they've done that, you ask for another small request, another one, and another one. Now, what you're doing by doing this is that slowly the person's attitude is changing about this belief or this action that you're eventually going to ask them to believe or do. It's slowly changing, their attitude is. And so eventually you can ask them to do this large request or believe in a particular way, and it will be easy to get them to say yes. The detrimental or beneficial effects of foot in the door can be seen in our personal lives as well as society as a whole. Let's take our personal lives first. Have you ever set a New Year's resolution and found that it was difficult to complete that resolution to the end of the year? Well, it was probably foot in the door that caused that to happen. Let's say that the resolution was you weren't going to drink caffeine for a year, and you were doing pretty well for a couple of weeks, but then your friend said, oh my gosh, there's this great Frappuccino, this new flavor that just came out, you've got to try it. So you go, okay, and you take a little sip of it, and it's like, that's pretty tasty. You go maybe another week, and then you say, well, maybe we can share one, and so you share a Frappuccino with somebody, and then pretty soon you're having one a week, and you're like, well, it's just one a week, it's so much better, I used to have one every day. And then the one a week turns into twice a week, and then it turns into 3 times a week, and pretty soon you're drinking these Frappuccinos every day, just like you were before you made the resolution. That's foot in the door. Even though foot in the door can be detrimental to us, we can actually use it purposely to benefit us. For example, let's say that you are a meat and potatoes eating person and you want to change your diet and become a vegetarian or even a raw foodist. And currently you're eating no fruits and vegetables at all. Well, you could start with just one piece of fruit a day, and that could eventually turn into a smoothie in the morning, fruit smoothie in the morning, and then it could turn into the addition of a salad at lunch, and pretty soon you're having fruits in the morning, a salad, lots of vegetables in the afternoon, and still eating, let's say, meat and potatoes at night, but you are maybe 50% a vegetarian or 50% raw foodist. This is the way you can slowly change your attitude, your beliefs about the food you're eating, and even your behavior. So foot in the door can be detrimental or beneficial. Now let's look at society. The results of foot in the door can be seen everywhere in society. I like to use the example of a full-service gas station and the self-service gas station. Years ago, all gas stations were full service. You would drive into the gas station over this little black tube. It would make a bell sound, ding, ding, and an attendant would come out and stand next to your car. You'd roll down your window and tell them how much gas you wanted, and while your gas was filling, they would check your oil and wash your windows, and that was all for free. And then you would pay them through your car window. They would take the money and you would drive off, and it was finished. Then eventually they implemented one pump would be self-service, and then it was 2 pumps and 3 pumps, and then pretty soon the whole service station was self-serve except for one pump. An attendant would come out and pump your gas for you, and then eventually all the service stations are self-serve. Now, you might find one here and there throughout the United States where they'll come out and pump your gas, but for the most part, they're all self-serve. This is how it's changed our whole attitude. Now, think back when gas was where the attendants came out and pumped your gas. If one day there was an announcement in the newspaper that said, all gas stations will now have self-service pumps, and that was it. No more attendants. People would just be going crazy. What? I have to pump my own gas? I don't know how to pump my own gas. There would be mayhem. But since it was implemented slowly, everyone adapted, and now to have somebody come out and fill your tank with gas is just kind of a strange idea. And I'm seeing now the same thing happening in grocery stores where we're checking our own groceries. So it'll be interesting to see in another 5-10 years if we're all just checking our own groceries or not. The exercise challenge for this week is to become more aware. First, take a look at your own life. Where have you used foot in the door to help you change an attitude, a belief, or an action in your life to improve your life? And where has it worked for you? And then where has foot in the door just happened to you where you have attained a certain belief, attitude, or action that's detrimental to your life that you don't want? And maybe look to see how you could use foot in the door to reverse that. Then the second part of the exercise challenge is to look at society in general as a whole. Where is foot in the door being utilized today in our society to change whole groups of people's attitudes, beliefs, or actions in order to benefit us as a whole society or whole world? Or how is foot in the door being used strategically to benefit a few people and to get us to do things that are not ultimately in our best interest? So take a look around, become more aware, and liberate your mind one thought at a time. See you next week.